Good evening, everyone, and welcome here for round 3 of the 2021 Sony Cup Series season. Jesse Turner is on pole for this race, and he's got to be the favorite to win this race this afternoon. Coming off a win last weekend at Phoenix, his 14th career win, first of the season, and 7th year in a row that Jesse Turner has went to victory lane. And that team's riding high on a lot of confidence. This could be the year where Jesse Turner yet again challenges for the title and could be a threat. The whole entire team looks very poised to try and do something. Jake Bassinger still in a hole, 42 points. 42nd in the point standings, not 42 points. He is 42nd in the championship standings. He was runner-up last year in the championship. James Shelley had a kind of a miserable run. He rebounded, though. He's hoping to do something. And Dylan Young, he's down there with Jake Bassinger in the standings. He blew up late. He had a chance to win that one. Now, Cody Lamas is our championship leader coming in this race. He won the Daytona 500, and him, Burton, and Ryan Acosta are the only 3 drivers this season that have finished in the top 10 in the opening 2 rounds. They're hoping to do the same for this round. So let's get down to start the race. Field gets set and ready to go racing for 75 laps this afternoon. Jesse Turner on the front row. Alongside of him is John Arndt. 2 drivers with 2 polar opposite spectrums on the grid. Jesse Turner has a lot of momentum on his side. John Arndt has everything against him this race weekend. Arndt is on probation from the FBRL. He has until June 1st to end that probation. He got docked 40 driver points. He got disqualified at Phoenix. So everything is working against him. His teammate Ryan Acosta and Chris Dodd are on the bottom in the row 2 and 3. Dejon Weeks, DJ Curtis on the outside. But Arndt has to prove himself today. 3 races in a row. He's been involved in something, and he's been in a very controversial state. Can he turn that into a race win today? We're about to go racing. The green flag flies. We're racing at California. Ryan Acosta making it 3 wide. Immediately, Acosta not gonna shy away from making a move on lap 1. Everyone sideways further back. In the opening lap at California, it is always very interesting. Everyone's always fanning out. Jesse Turner, the pole sitter, trying to fend off a bunch of Dodges. The Alley Family Racing Team boys going after it for the race lead. Costa side by side looking for it. Already a caution flag is out. An incident down at turn 3 and 4. Turner gets it at the line. But a lap 1 incident. Caution flag is out. Jeffrey Lynn, his season continues to be miserable. He is down in the standings. He has not had a very good season opening. And Jeffrey Lynn, and along with others, are crashed and out of the race. To try and get a replay of it. 4 wide down at turn 3, and Jeffrey Lynn trying to put his nose where it couldn't go. Jeff James, Hayden Klein, Hannah Allen. I see Doug Lockrow there. There's Eric Burton. Burton in the 91. We mentioned him in the pre-race. He is one of 3 drivers that has scored top 10s at Daytona and Phoenix. And that top 10 streak is going to end here at California. Get another replay of it. They are already bunching up in front of them. You see Brandon Parsons, Dom Capps trying to stay off of each other. Capps kind of lifted a whole lot there. And then here comes Jeffrey Lynn trying to go up the middle on both Capps and Jeff James. And that is all Jeffrey Lynn's fault. And Jeff James gets loose and spins, but Burton and Griffin know where they could have really went. Hayden Klein 2 weeks in a row. Same with Hannah Allen and Nick Piercles. Nothing they could do. Jeff James, this is the 3rd week in a row a car has went upside down in a race in the Sony Cup Series. And Jeff James' turn to go upside down. The helicopter, we're going to get a look at Jeffrey Lynn. Lynn's going to make the move to go in the middle on Don Capps and Jeff James, and that just is not going to work out. And a big crash. Again, starting in the back of the field has proved to be very costly for a lot of drivers. You need to have a good starting position, so you're starting further up in front of everybody. Hannah Allen, Doug Lockrow, Ryan Griffin, Jeff James, and others involved in this first lap incident. After only 5 laps, we only have 37 cars still left running in this race. Jeff James, Eric Burton, Hayden Klein, Ryan Griffin, and Jeffrey Lynn, they are out of the running for today's race. Nobody pitted other than Dom Capps on backwards, so you can see the difference. So Capps, Pierre Calise, Lockrow, and Hannah Allen all pitted. Jesse Turner over the Allen family racing team cars. 3 of them in the top 4. They look very good. They had tremendous pace in qualifying. Dejon Weeks is there. Jake Bassinger, Sanford, DeMax, Curtis, and Young. Now, who is going to be the main contenders for this race? Jesse Turner trying to get a gap on the rest of the field. Acosta wasting no time, turned right to the inside of Jesse Turner, going to get some help from John Arndt, and Arndt's going to make a move to the inside for the race lead. And John Arndt, a lot of his moves lately has been ruled down to a lot of it being out of desperation. And John Arndt, I believe, is very desperate to make something happen of his career. He's been around in the Sony Cup Series for a handful of years now, and he still has not put a win column up, not put a win in the win column. He's out front here at California. What better way than to silence your critics by getting a victory in the Sony Cup Series the next week after? And John Arndt's hoping to do that today. Ryan Acosta, Jesse Turner, they're trying to stretch the gap on the rest of the field. Dejon Weeks, Jake Bassinger, Eric DeMax, Chris Dodd doing battle with each other. A race all the way down to 7th place. Then you have Cody Lamas, Dylan Young, Charles Sanford making up the top 10. James Sorfox just outside of that in 11th. Dylan Schwellenberg, Nick Mace, DJ Curtis, 3 wide with Scott Roush, Jordan Fisher, James Shelley. And there's Matthew. Oh, Shelley bounces off the wall. Rodriguez, Benyako, Harple, Baker, England. That is the top 20. Going a little further back, Jeffrey White ran very well at Phoenix. Bobby Jones in the 3rd. He got caught up in a wreck at Phoenix. He's hoping to turn better results into today. He finished 2nd here last year, so this is a good track for Jones. Collins in the 86 has ran well here in the past. Jacob Hart back in the 05 again for this race weekend. Zach Rodders, Brandon Parsons, Vince Freeze, Dutta, Martin, Braden Capps. Young in the 16, really pushing tight off the corner. Sanford loose, but he's trying to get to the inside. But Young, that Ford horsepower down the straightaway, it's very good. We know that Ford and Dodge really tend to have good straightaway power, and Sanford's going to take that away. He's going to go up into 9th. Sanford, a hometown favorite, and he's doing Red Bull proud today. He's up to 9th. Young's under a challenge from Dylan Schwellenberg. Cody Lamas going after Jake Bassinger. Picking off another race car driver. He got past of Jake Bassinger, and he's alongside of Cody Lamas. Charles Sanford and Red Bull Racing trying to move their way up to 7th place, but Cody Lamas had the run down to the straightaway, down into turn 3. Lamas is going to keep that position. Sanford's up to 8. Young trying to pass his teammate Bassinger, getting shoved up high. And Bassinger may fall out of the side of the top 10 because here comes Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg now in the top 10. Though got right back at it underneath of Charles Sanford, and Sanford's going to lose a position to Jake Bassinger. James Sorfox in the 34, looking strong, trying to get in the top 10. DJ Curtis just outside of it. He's ran well here in the past. Scott Roush in the 0, trying to go to the outside of James Sorfox. That position might go to Scott Roush. Right around the outside of both Curtis and Sorfox and Bassinger. What a move by Scott Roush. He got past 3 drivers for the lead. Ryan Acosta looking to take it away from his teammate. Acosta won here last year. He knows how to get it done. He started deep in the field last year. He had the advantage of starting up front, and he's up front early on. Jesse Turner tried to get alongside of John Arndt, but just didn't have the power to get past the 43. To monitor the pace of the top 10 drivers, you can see the top 10 on the left side of your screen. Charles Sanford holds 10th place, but Scott Roush looking to take it away. He looks a little bit better than him at the moment. And Scott Roush, for this to be a one-off race, he's running really well for CM Racing, trying to get into the top 10. Scott Roush in the 0 running very well. Jake Bassinger's in 12th. 13th is James Sorfox. 14th, DJ Curtis. Then making up the top 15, Nick Makes finished a solid top 15. At Phoenix, looking to get another one here. He's on the back bumper of Curtis. Nearly made some contact. 16th, Vignacco. 17th is Matthew Rodriguez. He's not running all too well right now. It's not the pace we really expected from this 9 car. And then Zachary Fitzwater, Jeffrey White, and Bobby Jones making up the top 20. Then Harple, Collins, Baker, Hart, England, Rodgers, Brandon Parsons, Jordan Fisher, James Shelley, Vince Freeze making up the top 30. Then Ian Dutta, Dom Capps, Nick Breeding, Luke Martin in the 18, Hannah Allen, Doug Lockrow, Nick Heracles. That is all the drivers on the lead lap. The Allen family racing team cars pulling the gap on Jesse Turner. Top 2 looking so strong right now. Turner doing anything he can to stay with them guys. On to the inside of Eric DeMax. DeMax for Mace Enterprises having a strong opening going in this race. I don't know if we really expected Mace Enterprises to be this strong early on in the season, but Mace Enterprises has proven to be a worthy contender. And they're second to the Chevys. Dejon Weeks trying to run down the leaders. But for Eric DeMax to be hanging in here in the top 5, it is very good sign for Mace Enterprises. Acosta again trying to make a challenge on his teammate. They're side by side. That's allowed Jesse Turner to get right back in the mix of this. And Ryan Acosta, he's going to have the advantage, I believe. But John Arndt still, he has the advantage of Jesse Turner pushing him into turn 3. John Arndt answering to everyone very strongly at California. Now Andreas Allen picked John Arndt to drive this 43 car to replace Lane Griffin. And I believe we all expected John Arndt to do great things, but man, in the last handful of races, it has left a lot of people scratching their heads as to why, oh man, Acosta nearly got into him, as to why John Arndt has raced the way he has. And he's lost a lot of respect in the garage of how he has raced his competitors. But Arndt looking to put the respect back on the racetrack, showing that he can get this car to victory lane. Acosta and Turner doing anything they can to get the lead back. The 10th continues to rage on. Scott Roush, James Sorfox, they've been really trying hard to get past of Charles Sanford. See Sorfox get very loose. Roush trying to get the run on the high side, catches the wall, and Roush bounces off the wall. There's going to be a little damage there. Nearly 4 wide behind them. Lap car Nick Heracles getting lapped. DJ Curtis, Rodriguez to the inside of Fitzwater. Bassinger to the inside of Scott Roush. Vignacco trying to slide underneath of James Sorfox. That's a hornet's nest back there with Jeffrey White, Nick Mace, Curtis, and Bobby Jones. They're racing very hard to get into the top 10. Alex Vignacco, who finished runner-up at Phoenix, hoping to put a thrilling race on again. He's making a move here on Charles Sanford. He's got a run on him. Sanford in the 5 has done well to hold off the challenges, but Alex Vignacco going to go to his inside and try and take 10th place away. Matthew Rodriguez over Jeffrey White, DJ Curtis, Bobby Jones. They continue to race really hard with each other. Curtis working on Jeffrey White. That's his old race car that he drove for last season, but Curtis can't make the inside grip. Bobby Jones around the outside of him. Nick Mason, Zachary Fitzwater making up the top 20. Inside the top 10, the battles as we come up on lap 30. Dylan Schwellenberg to the inside of Cody Lamas. That's a battle for 8. Schwellenberg has had a pretty miserable opening start to the season. Round 1 and 2 was not very good for Dylan Schwellenberg. He's hoping to get at least a top 10 run. He's running a lot better than his teammate and boss of Matthew Rodriguez. Schwellenberg challenging over Cody Lamas. The caution flag is out, so something is amiss down in turns 1. Caution flag is out with 45 laps in the race to go. That's going to put these drivers very close on fuel mileage, I would assume. Here's what happened. Jeffrey White in the 11. He ends up getting spun off the bumper. Bobby Jones drives it into turn 1 and just gets into the side of Jeffrey White, and around he goes. A similar accident happened like that last year. I think it was John Arndt that spun last year, or either it was 2 years ago. A crash like that happened and brought out a yellow flag late in the race. But we've seen that happen in the past, where drivers try so hard to get underneath of somebody and just make contact getting into turn 1. With DJ Curtis. The drivers are down pit road. This is the money pit stop. I only expect these drivers to pit one more time. And I think this is actually going to be the only time all these drivers will try and pit. I think they're going to try and make it all the way to the end. And so, taking all 4 tires, who's going to come out with the advantage? John Arndt came in pit road leading. Ryan Acosta and Jesse Turner, they're 1, 2, 3 in the pit stalls. Who's going to lead first? John Arndt gets the advantage. Jesse Turner's on pit road for a while, making a big adjustment or something. They took a long time on his pit stop, so Turner loses out to a lot of drivers as the leader off pit road is John Arndt. Goes in on halfway in the race, where I'm being told that they can make it all the way on fuel. The green flag is back out again. This could be the race to the finish. Who's going to win here at California? We have a long ways to go. We have over 40 laps to go in this race. Anything can happen. But you got to get everything possible. You got to stay with the leaders. There is no more holding back. There is nothing of that. With that one pit stop out of the way, everyone should be able to make it on fuel. And we may get a yellow flag with the way they're trying to avoid Nick Heracles in the back. Ryan Acosta, Dejon Weeks, Chris Dodd, Dylan Young. All 5 cars nose to tail with Eric DeMax, Cody Lamas, Alex Pignaco, Matthew Rodriguez, Cole Baker. They had great pit stops. 3 wide with Turner, Bassinger, and Schwellenberg. Cole Baker to the inside, the rookie. Oh, and Silverfox getting tagged by Dylan Schwellenberg. He's up the banking in turn 1 and 2. But for the race lead, it is the Allen family racing team cars that are commanding this one. CM Racing's Dejon Weeks squeezing out of there. Getting past Chris Dodd, getting past of Ryan Acosta, and Dejon Weeks is up to 2nd place. Beginning a battle for the lead here shortly. Dejon Weeks and John Arndt, they were teammates last season. They made contact. John Arndt made contact with Dejon Weeks last week. Oh, he may give him a little bit of a bumper. Payback from last week. Contact between the 2 of them. Weeks and Arndt sideways off turn 4. Thought I seen that one coming. Dejon Weeks wasn't too thrilled with the accident that happened last weekend. He sure rung his bell there. Got him on his edge of his seat. Arndt held onto it. He's still in the race lead. But Dejon Weeks for sure let him know he was there. Arndt and Weeks, 1, 2. Then it's the Allen family racing team cars of Dodd, Acosta, Lamas is in the top 5. Young, Benyako, DeMax, Cole Baker, Schwellenberg. Now, championship contenders last season, Bassinger and Rodriguez, they're on the move. Arndt rides way up the hill in turns 1 and 2. Dejon Weeks just drove his line like he normally did. And Arndt completely missed the corner. He way overdrove it. And that allowed Dejon Weeks to get to his inside. And Weeks is out front for the first time in this race. 3 wide, possibly. Here comes Cody Lamas. Lamas, the Daytona 500 champion. Dodd and Arndt nearly made contact there. Here comes Benyako in the 8 car. Benyako making a move here. Schwellenberg and Bassinger have made some moves up the hill. They're making their way up the running order. Benyako in the 8 again next week. After Phoenix here at California, he's up front doing well. It is good to see the young drivers really thriving in the Sony Cup Series. Cody Lamas, though, up to second place. They didn't get their 1v1 battle they wanted in the Daytona 500. These two were nose to tail way out ahead before the caution flag came out late in the Daytona 500. These were the two favorites to win that race before that happened. Weeks and Lamas. Will they get their 1v1 battle today? Looks like Lamas is going to make a point here. He's going to try and take the lead. And Cody Lamas out front. He's the championship leader anyhow. He's having a great opening season in 2021. It is between Lamas, Weeks, Dodd, Benyako aren't the top 5. Jake Bassinger trying to make a run late in this race, but Cole Baker in that Cybertron Motorsports car really surprising me. He's in the top 10. Laps of racing to go. Jake Bassinger's going up to 3rd, but here comes Lamas again. Lamas and Weeks been trading the lead back and forth, but here comes Jake Bassinger. Bassinger coulda, woulda, shoulda won at Phoenix. He led 86 laps of the day and then tried to short pit, and a caution came out as soon as he pitted, caught him a lap down. Bassinger's in 3rd. Jesse Tunner has fallen a ways back in the 17 car. There he is. He is down in 20th. He's bounced off the wall at some point. So Jesse Tunner, he was up there in the top 3 early on, but now he's got damage and he's a ways back. But his teammates are trying to avenge him, at least his one teammate. Here comes Bassinger on the high side. Weeks and Lamas going for the lead with each other. Here comes Benyako, he's got to run. 4-car battle for the lead, but don't count out the AFRT cars. Benyako looks to make a move on Dejan Weeks, but Cody Lamas gets out ahead. Benyako really eager to get by Jake Bassinger, but Bassinger kind of throws a block on him. Benyako, the Hardee's National Series champion. I really do believe we'll see good things from Benyako in this 8 car. He's going to the outside of Jake Bassinger, right around the outside of him. And Dodd's going to go with him. Dodd may slide in the wall almost. How about that? Alex Benyako making me sit up in my chair. Just overtakes Jake Bassinger like that. Bassinger's won 19 times in the Sony Cup Series. Bassinger is a heck of a driver, and for Benyako to make that move, it's impressive. AFRT drivers of Arndt, Acosta, and Dodd trying to get back in this. Schwellenberg, Young, and Matt Rodriguez making up the top 10. Lamas continues to run this race. Trying to take some inspiration from Alex Benyako's move. He's trying to go to the outside of Ryan Acosta, but Dodd's going to hit the wall. Chris Dodd trying to make a move around the outside of his teammate. Hits the wall, and now he has some damage. Benyako trying to make another move. He's going to the outside of Dejan Weeks. But is that going to pay off? He's way up the hill, and that's not going to work. Jake Bassinger back alongside of him. Schwellenberg to the inside of Ryan Acosta. No real challenge there. Acosta loses that position to Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg's up to 6. On Weeks has a run on Cody Lamas. Here he comes to the inside. Weeks could have won this race a handful of times before. 2019 was the most memorable when he drove the 38 M&M's Ford, and a caution flag came out late in the race. What is Bassinger doing? He's making a big move to the inside. Jake Bassinger kind of minding his own right now. Not getting in the mix of that battle between the two Chevys, but Benyako again to the outside of Bassinger. Easily makes that pass done. Benyako trying to get away into second place. Alex Benyako, Dejan Weeks side by side, but here comes Jake Bassinger, gonna try and make it nearly 3 wide. Benyako gives out. Dejan Weeks holds on to second. Bassinger just can't do anything on the bottom. At least he's choosing not to show his cards yet. But, whoa, sideways from Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg trying to get underneath of John Arndt. Arndt holds on for now. That's a battle for 5th place. And Yako, it looks like he's going to have it this time to the inside of Dejon Weeks. The Young Guns, man, Ben Yako tried to slide up in front of Weeks, but Weeks is still there. Weeks wants the high side going into turn 3. It's been one of the preferred grooves you wanted to be in. Schwellenberg further back is going to get 5th place away from Arndt. Lamas trying to get around the lap car. Ben Yako needs to get the inside. Weeks trying to pin Ben Yako behind the 1 car. Nearly contact there. Oh, they're getting their elbows out. Weeks kind of turned in on Ben Yako in the tri-oval. Like down the straightaway. And it slowed him up behind the 1 car. Weeks and Ben Yako, good teammates, but they're fierce rivals on the track right now when it comes to this race win. Just outside of a top 10 run with about 20 laps to go. Bobby Jones is in 11th, trying to get past of Chris Dodd. Cole Baker is there, Scott Roush, Kyle Collins. That's all the way back to 14th, and it's Curtis, Silverfox, Turner, DeMax, Vince Freeze, and Sean Harple. You see Sanford, Mace, Fitzwater, Shelley all back there. But these are the drivers trying to make their way up the running order to get a better finish in this race. On Weeks is going to try it again to the inside of Cody Lamas. And Weeks, I think's got him. Yes, he does. Ben Yako as well, trying to get alongside the 48. Jake Bassinger is there, but I know how this is going to work. Bassinger is just not going to be able to get through the corner like Ben Yako and Lamas. Schwellenberg is trying to close in. Lap car Jeffrey White in the way, might hold up his teammate just a little bit. Oh, and Lamas trying to find his best to get around his teammate. Jeffrey White not doing Lamas any favors. Here comes Schwellenberg, he's got to run. Lamas lost out to 2nd and even 3rd. Bassinger moves past Lamas. Here comes Schwellenberg. Dylan Schwellenberg, the highest running Toyota. We have not really seen Toyota run well here this race weekend, but Schwellenberg trying to get up here and battle for the race win. 5 drivers right here with the lead. Dejon Weeks, Alex Bignacco, Jake Bassinger, Cody Lamas, Dylan Schwellenberg, and if you want to even count 6th, 7th, and 8th, they are still in this hunt. Acosta, Young, and Arndt. Which one of these drivers is going to come out on top as we come up close to 15 laps to go? Lamas down to the inside of Bignacco once more. Oh, and Lamas just crosses over, gets right in front of Bignacco, gets right to where he wants to be. There's a specific groove down in turn 3 and 4 these drivers love to run, and it's up the hill in the middle of the track. Bignacco trying to slide into 2nd place. Bignacco running Lamas up the hill, but Lamas is trying to fight back. Remember, these front 3, they're affiliate teammates. CM Racing, Curtis Racing, they're different teams, but they work so well together. And now they've worked so well together, they're competing with each other for the win at California. If they're not careful, Jake Bassinger and Dylan Schwellenberg could take it away from the 3 of them. Bassinger's ahead of Lamas. He's up to 3rd. Bignacco, Dejon Weeks, teammates going at it for the lead. Bignacco takes it away from Dejon Weeks. Bassinger falls all the way back to 5th. Minding his own right now. Jake Bassinger letting these guys duke it out. Possibly saving his tires. Is that what Acosta and Arndt are doing? Or are they just not as good in the long run? We've seen Arndt and Acosta were just dominating the start of this race. But they're losing touch with the leaders. But Bignacco has lost the lead once again. Here comes Dejon Weeks. He's made that pass. Lamas is trying to get up there and take it away again. Dylan Schwellenberg could be the upset, really. And it's kind of weird to say that, but look at this move by Schwellenberg. He's sliding up. They're 4 wide. 4 wide for 2nd place. Bignacco way around the outside. He's in the wall. Schwellenberg made an aggressive move to try and take 2nd place. What a move. Nobody wanted to give in there. Everybody wanted to just take. And Bignacco hit the wall. There's a replay. Schwellenberg had such a run. This was for the lead and coming to 10 laps to go. Schwellenberg just drove it in there. Lamas gave it a little shot as well. He was pedaling it. Bassinger tried to do something with him. And then Bignacco around the outside, just no more grip. He had ran off some of his tires. and got the wall. Look from Ryan Acosta. Oh my goodness, that is just so beautiful. 4 drivers not wanting to give in. Benyako had to take the worst end of it, but this brought Acosta closer to the lead pack. You aren't on the edge of your seat now. You ought to be right this very moment. Coming back to the line to be 12 laps to go. It is elbows out, all take, no give. Everyone is going for the win here at California. Dejon Weeks has a good margin over Dylan Schwellenberg. Jake Bassinger, Lamas, Benyako is still in this mix, even though he bounced off the wall. Acosta is back in the mix of this. He could win back-to-back years. Dylan Schwellenberg, Dejon Weeks. We know Dylan Schwellenberg is very good, but he's just not had the luck, and he's not broke out in the Sony Cup Series just yet. He's a Hardy's National Series champion. In fact, we have 2 Hardy's National Series champions in the top 6. Jake Bassinger diving to the inside of Schwellenberg. Bassinger, though, has done that all race, and it's just not been able to make the bottom work. Schwellenberg round the outside again is going to be in a good position to try and get a draft on Dejon Weeks. The IK9.com Camry looking to make a move on Dejon Weeks. Can he make it happen in a turn 1? Oh, near contact. Schwellenberg, Weeks, side by side up for turn 2. Rodriguez Racing versus CM Racing. Schwellenberg's going to have to make something beautiful happen in a turn 3 if he wants to take this lead away. Lamas is looking strong again. Weeks up top, trying to get the high side wound up. Weeks in that CM Racing Chevy is going to power back on the straightaway, and he's going to keep the race lead. Look at this, though. 6 drivers in the screen. 6 drivers with 10 laps to go. You can see them. All of them right there. Any of these 6 drivers could win this race. You got Benyako, basically first full-time season in the Sony Cup Series. Acosta, last year's winner. Lamas, the championship leader. Jake Bassinger, runner-up last year in the championship. Dylan Schwellenberg trying to find something for Toyota. They struggled all race weekend, and what it would be if Toyota could win here at California. That just does not happen. Schwellenberg kind of crowds Bassinger low. He's going to make it 3 wide. Bassinger trying to make something happen. He slides up, gives Schwellenberg barely any room. Bassinger rode him up the hill. Jake Bassinger, the experienced veteran, trying to make something happen. Bassinger down the inside, surges down the inside, slides up in front of Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg has nowhere to go but to follow the 97 because he's got Lamas to his inside. Coming back to the line, 8 laps of racing to go. Schwellenberg again, trying to make something happen. 3 wide for third, but Weeks just powers around the outside. Schwellenberg taking the lead back away from Bassinger. John Weeks gets by Jake Bassinger on the inside in turn 3 and 4. That's difficult to do. They continue to race 3 wide for 4th. Acosta, Benyako, and Lamas. John Arndt and Dylan Young are trying to close in. Matthew Rodriguez and Bobby Jones make up the top 10 currently, with Baker, Roush, Collins, and Chris Dodd just outside of the top 10. Dylan Schwellenberg, it'll be 6 laps to go when he gets back to the line. Jake Bassinger is just so good, isn't he? Dylan Schwellenberg's going to have to use every bit of talent and as much motor as that 10 car can muster. But nothing he can do to challenge back. Bassinger takes the lead. Back to 5 laps of racing to go. Jake Bassinger leads over Dejon Weeks, Dylan Schwellenberg. They have moved their way around the lap traffic. Cody Lamas is up to 4th. 5th is Alex Benyako. 6th is Ryan Acosta. Arndt and Young. That is the top 8 within 2.5 seconds of each other for the lead. Jake Bassinger. He's been in the series for such a long time. Dejon Weeks, Dylan Schwellenberg, they came up the FBRL ranks through joining the Hardy's National Series and moving up to the Sony Cup Series. Now, Dejon Weeks, he hasn't won a race since 2019. It's been a while for Dejon Weeks. Dylan Schwellenberg won the Daytona race last year. He'd love to get back to victory lane again. This is supposed to be the season where he challenges for a title, but Rodriguez Racing, this team has been off to a rocky start. He's in third place with an eye on the victory this afternoon. Bassinger's going to run up on Nick Pierclise, the lap car. Dejon Weeks. Luke Martin drove this race car, ran very well here last year. Just missed out on a win at California. Can this team get redemption from last year and get a victory? This team was so close to making it happen last year. Weeks drives it into turn one. The car just is not sticking for him. Dylan Schwellenberg looks like he's a little better than Dejon Weeks. A car on the inside in the grass. Kyle Collins is limping it back to pit road. Either a flat tire or an engine failure for Kyle Collins as he comes back to pit road. It'll be 2 laps of racing to go. It is the experience versus the young guns. Jake Bassinger takes 2 laps of racing to go. Lamas Acosta not going to be able to do anything here. Benyako in the 8. Where is Benyako at in the 8 car? He's coming down pit road. Some drivers are coming down pit road. Benyako had to pit. Matt Rodriguez has 2 as well. Zach Rodgers, Nick Mace. Will the leaders have to come down pit road? Dylan Schwellenberg making a move to Dejon Weeks, trying to take second place away. But Jake Bassinger does not have to pit. So come back to the line. It'll be 1 more lap to go. Jake Bassinger could have won last race at Phoenix if it wasn't for a pit strategy failure. That team pitted him early and a caution flag came out. Benyako, that's a shame for Benyako in the 8 car because he was running so well. The young guns had their moment in the sun. Between Dejon Weeks and Dylan Schwellenberg, they'll race for second place. But Jake Bassinger is going to slam the door shut on Schwellenberg and Weeks. A slam dunk victory from Jake Bassinger. Bassinger is going to win for the 19th time in the Sony Cup Series. Checkered flag. Bassinger wins at California. Bassinger held back. Wasn't racing as hard early on in the going. I think the tires paid off for him. I think he was saving some of that later in the run. The experience paid off. That penalty at Daytona really hurt him to start his championship campaign in 2021. But Bassinger had a really good run at Phoenix. Could have won there. And had some unfortunate circumstances go his way where he pitted early while leading, got caught a lap down. But for this race, he played his cards right and outsmarted the field and raced hard for it. They raced super hard. What a race that was. Jake Bassinger wins and ties DJ Curtis and Charles Sanford with 19 wins in the Sony Cup Series, just 1 win away from being the 5th driver in Sony Cup Series history to get 20 or more wins. Bassinger's very close, and it's only a matter of time when he'll do that. Dejon Weeks, Dylan Schwellenberg, 2nd and 3rd today. Cody Lamas holds on to the championship lead. He gets 4th. Ryan Acosta. Him and Cody Lamas continue that string of races of finishing in the top 10 in the opening 3 rounds of the championship. Only them 2 are the drivers that have done that so far. John Arndt kept the car clean today. He gets 6th place. Dylan Young had a solid run. He needed that. 7th place. Bobby Jones, he ran well here last year and another good run today. Bobby Jones, 8th place. Rookie Cole Baker gets a 9th place finishing result. And Chris Dodd, after hitting the wall early on, played his cards right and got a top 10 for this one. Well, that is all from California. Round 3 of the championship is complete. Turn Performance Racing has gone back-to-back out west winning Phoenix and winning at California. Can they complete the West Coast swing with another Turner Performance driver winning at Willow Springs? We'll have to wait and see. Check it out. Next week, we go to Willow Springs to figure out if Turner Performance can sweep the West Coast races. Bassinger, though, continues to chip into the championship lead little by little and gaining all the points back after having the point penalty at Daytona. Congratulations to him on his 19th career win in the Sony Cup Series.
I've tried to fight it, but it's all been a waste. So tired of feeling like I don't know my face. Too far, these cars have got me caged like iron bars. I quit, even now, give me back my skin. Days go by, I'm still rearranged. This Frankenstein slowly I became. I wanted out, but can't find my way. I've lost myself with only you to blame. Buried alive, there's nothing left of me. These pictures haunt me like a ghost in a frame. I hardly recognize the sound of my name. I am a freak of nature, empty inside. I'm just a stranger